Welcome, everybody, to League Zero. I am your play-by-play for today's match, Joe Razor, joined here by Mr. Divided.
Hello. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I am doing quite nicely. I'm quite ready to kick off another week of League Zero gameplay. Today on the League Zero Overwatch Twitch channel, we have an very interesting matchup between Double Cap and Content Credence. I am very interested to see how this map goes. These are two teams that I think have a lot to prove going into this match.
Yeah, for sure. Content Credence, well, their record may be 1-3. Two of those losses have come in very tight Game 5 situations where they've been very close to pulling out the win. One of their losses, one of those against MI6 and the other one against Mob Mentality, who is currently the only undefeated team in Inter. And so, even though Content Credence is towards the bottom table when it comes to records, they've really had some good, strong performances. Most notably last week, taking down Kappa. And so I think this team, even though they're in the bottom three when it comes to standings, I think they're really possibly a top three team in this division.
Yeah, I mean, top three, I'd say, is a little weird because, I mean, it's possible with the individual talent that this team has that they could be up there. I have not really seen like the ability, like peak, they could be top three, but they never seem to be able to put together a full game. They'll always like seem really good for a couple of maps, and then we'll get to like maps 4 and 5, and they'll really start dropping off, and that is no good, especially when you're going to so many map 5s as Content Credence has. Meanwhile, on the other side, Double Cap they're in a very interesting position where they were off to a white hot start to start the league with two quick 3-0s. Lots of people were pegging them as the top team in intermediate at that point, but then they sort of fell off a little bit. Now they have lost 2 games in a row, put themselves at 2-2. They have themselves a new off tank coming in Navino, who I'm sure that all the Twitch chatters who are currently in Novice know a little bit more about. And this will be his debut in League Zero as a player, at least. So I am actually very interested to see how this goes.
Yeah, for sure.
There we go.
Double Cap, really good start to the season, but like you said, it started to fall off last game they played. They lost 3-0 to Mob Mentality, which was a crushing defeat. It really signified that something needed to change in Double Cap. And they did that by adding Navino to their lineup. And hopefully this can help kind of rejuvenate the team and give them back some of the strive they need to try to get a couple wins on the board. And really try to cement themselves as trying to put themselves back into the conversation for one of the top teams at Intermediate.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, these are two teams with a lot to prove right now. I'd say a player with a lot to prove right now is TIE Fighter, currently slotting in at the starting off-tank role for Content Credence, was recently traded over from Double Cap, where he honestly did not look super comfortable. I'll be very interested to see if if he ends up looking more comfortable on this team. Also on Content Credence, a couple of changes from what we are used to seeing. Accelerate is coming in on the, I assume, hit scan DPS role, and we are going to be having Pufa in the main support role. So these are two players who I am pretty sure are making their League Zero player debuts as well. Lots of debuts going on today.
Yeah, so both sides really changing a couple stuff up in their lineup, but this could possibly be one of the better matches of the weekend here between two teams that, like you said, have a lot to prove coming into this match. And both these teams really need this win for their standings and their confidence if they want to have a good shot going forward in the season.
Yeah, I mean, going down 1-4 with just 2 games to go is really tough for Content Credence. Theoretically, possible to still end up with a decent standing at the end of the day, but seeding would not end up working out very well for Content Credence. This is a very key game for them, not only to prove themselves, but also put themselves in a decent spot going through the rest of the season. And I think Double Cap, at 2-2, they really need to reverse the downward momentum that they have, that they're faced with right now.
Yeah, they're having some troubling times here over in the Double Cap camp. Really trying to turn it around here in this week. This would be a really good way to start a turnaround for really either of these teams. Whichever team can come out with the win has a bright future, I feel, looking forward for the rest of the intermediate this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Still waiting on the R's from both teams. I have asked multiple times, and they're just continuing to banter in match chat and just pretty much ignoring me. So that's fine. We can just keep delaying the game as much as they want to.
Yeah, but
that's fine. Both teams, though, obviously coming into this match, pretty loose, pretty good spirits for both teams, and honestly, that's great to see. Glad that both teams are feeling good going into this game.
Yeah. Something I'm really interested to see in this match is what the teams opt to run with their compositions. Because we yesterday, had this patch, which I think in combination with some of the other patches could really shake up the meta.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea what we're going to be seeing coming out today. The intermediate division in particular has really been dominated by these shadow dive comps, but lots of new patches coming through with changes to heroes like Widow, McCree, Soldier, Brig, May, a bunch of things getting shaken up, and we could be seeing a whole host of different things. But as of right now, looks like Double Cap is going to be sticking onto the tried and true quote-unquote shadow dive. Meanwhile, a bit more of an unconventional pick coming out from Content Credence, the Hog Diva with the Echo Mercy. This is a very, very brawly comp they're going with right now, and they're going to be playing for picks. Never mind, no Hog. No Hog. I really shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, still the Echo. The Echo's still very interesting.
Yeah, the Echo, I think, has always been viable since she's been released, but in a lot of situations you could just play something that's a bit better. But they're gonna go for it here in this match. See both teams just poking and prodding here. Pufa's gonna fall low, but that's a great anti-nade. It's gonna hit a couple people up. TIE Fighter's gonna get demech there. The damage boosted Echo getting a lot of damage done, however, which could help turn this, but that's a hack on an accelerate. He's gonna get brought down low as Tyler's gonna manage to get a kill onto the Auto as they try to push Content Credence back into their spawn here. But there's 3 players still on point there for them, but with Bard falling, it's gonna become much harder. Yeah, TIE Fighter's not able to get back into the mech, and that looks like Double Cap's gonna be able to cap point first.
And good triple kill from Tyler to clean up the points as well. That was just overall some fantastic from Navino, very close to getting taken out. But that was some fantastic target identification from Double Cap, so that TIE Fighter was just a little bit too far ahead of his team. They sped into him and just completely got rid of his mech, and after that, honestly, the fight went on for a while, but after that, it was basically over. Content Credence was in disarray from that point forward. But it is interesting to note that Steady State has built up his EMP in one fight, and there it goes. It catches both supports. Monarch goes down, but there's two players on the other side traded out.
Yeah, this fight could still go either way there, but with TIE Fighter getting demeched and Pufa and Bard falling, the EMP might have managed to hit the supports, but it didn't really do much else. Kenobi didn't even have the sound barrier, so there wasn't really... Getting the supports really didn't provide too much value there.
No, I would say not. It didn't seem like Content Credence was actually fully ready for that engagement from Steady State. A little bit unfortunate there, as they're gonna try and push back in again. Now the EMP from the other side.
EMP there. It's gonna hit 5 players on the side of Content Credence, and Bard's gonna fall very early on there. Nice hack there on a Steady State into the back, though. He's gonna manage to translocate out just in time. His Content Credence is just forced back off of that one pick.
Yeah, I mean, that really just shows the power of the EMP, just shutting down an entire fight by itself. Like, this is going to be a pivotal fight here. 4 ults coming up on the side. Well, Steady State very nearly got picked. But 4, almost, I can imagine all 6 ults will be coming up on the side of Content Credence. 5, it'll have everything except EMP on the side of Double Cap, so we really need to see something coming out from Content Credence if they want to get any good stuff to fight. The Kenobi
yeah, the Kenobi's gonna manage to fall to Bard there from the Nano to up Monkey there. Repeat's gonna drop the Blossom. He's gonna manage to take down Poofa, but Bard with the Primal Rage is gonna trade out supports there. The duplicated Winston, so 2 Primal Rages for the side of Content Credence there. Navina's gonna get taken out of the mech. Steady State is gonna get traded, however. Navina will fall as well as that's a nice boom. It's gonna set Fluffy off the edge. Bard's gonna manage to get an environmental kill of his own, but it's not gonna matter. As Double Cap, it's gonna 100-0 on the first point.
Yeah, honestly, I was honestly expecting a little more from Content Credence there. There was just so much better coordination coming out from Double Cap. Even when the picks would come out on the side of Content Credence, they would just sort of spread out and start going for their own individual skirmishes. Meanwhile, Double Cap were very good at staying grouped as a unit. Even when they were down, they were able to pop the ults necessary to swing the fight back in their favor.
Yeah. Really just nice kind of calm and collective play there from Double Cap. Content Credence seemed trying to play a bit too aggressive. Not necessarily aggressive, but trying to rush stuff. They weren't really thinking through their decisions as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the same comp coming out from Content Credence that we just saw.
They're gonna have the Reinhardt.
The Ryan pick coming out. Tyler, who's immediately hacked up, and they're gonna try to push. Ooh, that's a nice anti-nade.
The anti-nade's gonna hit 3 people, which is gonna allow Content Credence to move off the high ground there. See, Tao's gonna get slept there, which is gonna stall it out for a bit. That's a 4-minute anti-nade as TIE Fighter's gonna get taken out of the mech. Bard looking to take them down. Steady State in the back's gonna manage to take down Kenobi there, so they're gonna manage to get the opening pick, but Accelerate's gonna get traded out, but the Tyler and Bard both get killed, so no main tanks here for either side. Steady State's gonna fall, and there's just a couple players left here for the side of Double Cap, and it may have looked, Content Credence, excuse me, it may have looked good for them at the start, but they're gonna manage to, but they're gonna end up falling at the end.
Get DMA'd here. Oh no, that is terrible.
Oh. And Fluffy falls late as well.
I mean, I think this is again just showing how much better Double Cap is at this pocket shadow. I guess we can call it now Shadow Goats comp. As Madsen gets an incredible hack onto TIE Fighter, and they manage to rush him down and take him down once again. Madsen currently with a 10% EMP charge advantage over Steady State. Both teams will have at least one support going into this next fight. So I think this EMP battle is going to be huge coming up.
Yeah, for sure, though. They're going to send the Nano onto the Winston there as the duplicate comes through. The Coalesce is going to try to push everybody away. The Diva Bomb's going to get thrown in, but the shield from Accelerate is going to keep everybody safe for now. The EMP is great. It's going to hit it's going to hit 5 players there, which is going to cause Repeat to fall. The Shatter's good as well. It's going to hit 2 players there. In Content Credence, it took a couple ults, but they're going to manage to clean up and most likely manage to flip the point.
Yeah, that was an incredible late EMP there from Steady State. Beautiful play, waiting until Double Cap used all the resources. Yeah, Double Cap are going to keep on stalling here for time. The Reaper is now back onto the point. Now the Reinhardt both supports are back too. The
4 players here. Yeah, Proof of Focus could actually be turnable here. So they're going to have 4 players on the point. The Primal Rage is going to come out. So Content Credence is going to try to stay alive there for now. Kenobi's going to drop the beat. It's going to hit 5 people. It's going to hit 2 people. Steady State's going to fall. Their Double Cap really about to do this. Fluffy falls as well. The EMP's going to help them turn this as well. The Diva Bomb's going to get thrown up onto the point. It's not going to find any kills. The Blossom's going to get dropped from Repeat as he manages to get the kill. Poopa's going to fall, and so is Accelerate. And somehow, Double Cap managed to turn that fight. They're going to hold on. Steady State's going to manage to get a touch, however, but I don't think anybody else is going to manage to get back to the point. Steady State's still there, so he's going to get another tag. Fluffy's going to fall. Bard is not going to be able to get back. And Double Cap managed to do it and take the first point. First map.
First map goes to Double Cap in a dominant 200% to 0 fashion. That was an incredible. I like that Accelerate's going to go in and get the play of the game here in the one fight that Content Credence, I guess, quote unquote, won there.
But they didn't manage to flip.
They didn't manage to flip because, yeah, like I was saying, this was just like the first map. Even when the individual plays came through from Content Credence to get them picks, the focus fire after was just not strong at all, and then it allowed DC to sneak them back into the fight.
Yeah, just kind of poor team play there from Content Credence. They would get like the opening pick, they would get opening anti-nade, but then they would just kind of sit there. They wouldn't do anything. And it really cost them there in the end as Double Cap, with 100 to O's, managed to win the poll there. As map 2 will be Content Credence's pick. Interested to see what they go with here.
Yeah, they really wanted to push in with this Echo Sombra comp, and I think that it's not necessarily a bad comp. The comp is very much possible. You can definitely work. You can definitely work with it and make it work if Accelerate is very comfortable on that pick. Echo obviously has some very good burst damage with her sticky bombs. Some would argue not quite as reliable as, say, Reaper. But I don't think the comp is necessarily the biggest problem here. I think it's just sort of a synergy issue going on with Content Credence. They did not look super prepared to follow up on each other's plays. Like I've been saying, like this is like the third time I'm saying it. Even when they did get picks, it felt like after they would get a pick, the follow-up from DC would... I'm sorry, the follow-up from DC's remaining members was so good, and the target focus from Content Credence was so scattered that they were just unable to clean up the picks, and that is honestly the biggest difference that I'm seeing between these two teams right now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that's very much true. Just kind of poor follow-up from the side of Content Credence, as we are still awaiting the map pick from them. We have the map pick.
Rialto.
I'm not smart. It's fine. Rialto's the map pick.
Happens to all of us. Don't worry about it. Yeah, and I think we do have to keep in mind here that we do have ourselves a solid 3 players on Content Credence who are starting and have not played before, at least on this team. This is like... this is essentially an entirely new roster on the side of Content Credence. DC has a couple new players of their own. Navino, also, I think Monarch is not usually the starter for Double Cap, but there is, I think, a lot to be said for how content is currently trying to pull together a very new roster.
Yeah. Content trying to muster their new roster to try to pull out a win here, but so far not really managing to pull it off.
Yeah, not really. That was probably one of the most lopsided maps that I've seen so far, especially this late into the season. Honestly, gotta give props to Double Cap. They played the quote-unquote Shadow Dive comp extremely well. They obviously knew what they were doing. I think that Navino looked very good in his first map debut. Honestly, and TIE Fighter I saw getting caught out a lot by the team. I don't know if they're specifically targeting him or whether he's just pushing up a little bit too far, coming with the... that's part of the growing pains that Content Credence has before they fully integrate together.
Yeah, I think that's very fair to say. As Content Credence really need to try to bounce back here on this map too, because currently they're not looking too hot. If they need to manage to take this map win if they want a chance to come back in this series. Reverse sweep is always plausible, but if Content Credence is going to continue to play like that, I doubt they're going to manage to pull it off.
Yeah, this is a crucial map. You never want to go down 0-2 in a map like this for no other reason than morale. It's time now to go into our second map of Rialto. Of course, this was Content Credence's map pick. I think it's very possible that we could be seeing more of the Echo play coming out from Accelerate. A lot of pretty open skies in this map, at least in the first 2 points. I would say that it's at least pretty viable.
Yeah.
But Accelerate locks Reaper immediately, but you know what? I'm not gonna talk about what attack.
They're on the. I doubt they could play May. May has been buffed.
Yeah, actually, let's talk about the defense and what they're running, because this is an interesting side. We've got the Rodog Sigma coming out, and a bunch of poke damage in Madsen on the Ashe, and Repeat going on the Echo. The Zen is there to help burst everyone down. Like, this is a comp designed to get picks. This is a comp designed for picks.
This is basically the playoff comp that we saw in the Overwatch League, except they're running the Echo. The Echo's just... I don't know. I just feel like you get more value if you opt to run a Sombra or even a Tracer.
Mm-hmm.
And in some cases, even the Pharah, but they're going to opt to run the Echo here, so I'm very interested to see what type of value... As far as playing the game, he takes his shield out for 1 second to go for a Fire Strike, and then he's just dead.
This is what you get when you go into this fight. The Reinhardt puts his shield down for 1 second, and there's the Echo Stookie Bomb from the Discord Orb and the headshots from the Ashe, and there's just nothing you can do. I'm not sure how long Content Credence can get away with playing this comp going into this massive spam potential. But to be fair, they are pushing the card a little bit. A hook onto Accelerate from Tyler though is going to take him out.
Once again, Bard takes out his shield for about half a second, and then there's already a pick for double cap. As they're going to move over to the high ground, but Bard just gets immediately exploded. Looks like Content Credence know what they want to do, but the amount of poke damage and pick potential from double cap's comps just not allowing them.
You really need to get up close to get value with this comp, and right now Double Cap are doing a fantastic job of kiting around Double Cap, not letting them close the distance. Accelerate is building his Blossom literally on passive charge right now, because he just can't get up close to anyone to do damage.
Yeah, he got hooked here at the beginning of this fight, but Tyler ended up missing the shot as the duplicate is going to come out from Repeat, as the EMP is also going to get dropped. It's going to manage to hit 2 players on the side of double cap. No kills, however, resulting from either side, as the EMP is going to get dropped, but he's immediately going to get blown up out of it. So back into the Echo he goes here. Still 6 players up for both sides.
Yeah, a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, Bard is going to try to push forward onto the point now. Putting some nice pressure on Navino, but Tyler's just going to hit the hook, take down Fluffy, then he's going to pop the hole. Oh, he managed to take down Bard now, pushing everybody into this corner. The Transcendence from Monarch, not sure if it was needed, but still managed to get the fight win.
Yeah, I mean, that was just kind of an ult difference. That was a solid 5 ultimates used on the side of the double cap, and they were all used in optimal ways. Meanwhile, once again, Steady State seemed to release the EMP on a point where the rest of the team wasn't quite ready for it. But to be totally fair to him, he has built up 70% of an ult once again, and Navino's going to use the Gravity Flux to start. Gets stunned out of it, though.
Yeah, he gets hacked out of it. As Bard and the rest of the team is just trying to push on to Tyler, but he has to take a breather to keep himself up for now. The Chorus is going to be there to try to keep up, but Bard's still just going to get blown up. The hook on the Accelerate's going to take him out. Repeat does fall to TIE Fighter, however, so this may be turnable, but that res looks near impossible. They're going to still push for the card forward a bit, however, but they're not going to be able to do anything with Steady State falling.
Yeah, now they're going to have to back up again. I would be so upset if I was Bard right now. He is simply not being allowed to play the game. He tries to push in, and the spam damage is just insane. But they have managed because of this defensive play style that they're going. They have just managed to push a card to the point where one fight win would be able to do it, and there's a lot of holes that Content have to work with here.
So is Accelerate before they even have the chance to use their ults. The EMP's good, but there's nobody alive. Accelerate still hasn't used the Death Blossom as Monarch used Trance.
That is so unfortunate. Now 7 seconds left. Both Tangolds technically still up for Content Credence, but I mean they gotta touch the point here. Accelerate's gonna get there.
That's his first. And then he doesn't even get any value out of it. The Shatter's good though. It's gonna hit 2 people, but no kills are gonna result in it because all of Content Credence has fallen. And I don't know if it's too early to say, but it looks like Double Cap are just gonna be able to take a 2-0 lead here fairly easily.
I mean, this is technically full holdable. I wouldn't count Content Credence out completely, but that was a dominant showing. I just want to point out how Accelerate dropped from the high ground, tried to use his Death Blossom to catch people off guard. They were so ready for it. The hack was there, the rock was there, the spam was there. He barely even got the first die out before he was back to spawn. And that is unfortunately the result of the one Death Blossom that he built up over those 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, and I don't think that's necessarily the fault of Accelerate. I think that's the fault of the comp that they were running and how they were just completely outmatched by the spam damage of Double Cap.
That was just. This has been possibly the most dominant game I've watched in quite a while. Like you said, though, it's not over. It's not over till it's over.
81.87 meters. When you think about it like that, I mean, that sounds like a lot of meters.
That's I don't know if they're gonna run this on the side of Double Cap. Oh, they had the Genji. I was hoping they were gonna run the Genji, but
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's happening. But now Content Credence is running a Hug Sigma comp of their own. It's going to be almost a mirror matchup, except there's a Hanzo on one side, the Echo on the other, and Nikki Fluffy's going to be running the Ana, while Monarch is on the Zenyatta.
Yeah, the Ana Zenyatta difference is very interesting for numerous reasons, but Accelerate's not even allowed to play the game. Repeat's just going to take him out. Nice protection, though, is going to allow him to get the res off, and the steady state will hit the shot onto Monarch, so they do have a 1-player advantage, but Fluffy's just going to fall. They managed to get the res onto Monarch as well. Repeat does fall to the resurrected Accelerate, however, and usually in this type of fights, it's the defender's advantage as TIE Fighter just gets flung onto the high ground.
Get over here. That was Tyler, the TIE Fighter. Yeah.
He just didn't get healed.
Oh man, such a scrappy fight, which is what you expect with these kinds of comps, but still.
Nice hook there. Allowed him to take down Tyler, and so technically an even fight now as the Flux is going to come through though.
That was a quick Flux.
Tyler, and that's going to be the end of the attack. I don't even know if anybody from Double Cap's going to Content Credence, excuse me, is going to even manage to touch, as they're just going to roll on through.
Can we talk for a second about how Navino built up a Gravitic Flux while TIE Fighter was barely at 30%? That was insane.
Yeah, that was...
Play of the game.
Yeah,
in the first map, Double Cap kind of won, not necessarily based off their individual skill, but this map, they chose a comp, and it kind of felt like a statement this map. They chose to run a comp. They showed in map 1 that they can win based off their teamwork and coordination and just kind of teamwork Content Credence. But in this map, they just whatever. Let's just run a comp where if any of our players if a couple of our players play bad, we're going to lose, and we'll still beat you.
Yeah, I mean, at least in the first map, there were a couple of fights where Content Credence seemed like they had the upper hand at a point. But this was DC just completely outpicking Content Credence and completely outplaying them. I have to give props to them. They looked incredibly clean there and incredibly polished. That was very nice, and I think DC is making a statement right now to the teams currently at the top of the intermediate division, saying we are here to play.
Yeah, I mean, Double Cap having a rough start to the season, but this is a statement so far. And Content Credence will need to reverse sweep if they want to manage to get this win. And getting even a single map win would even pushing this map into a second round, a second set of attacks, I think would be an accomplishment for how poor they've looked so far.
Yeah, Content have not looked super. I mean, there are two sides of the coin, right? While DC has looked incredibly clean, Content has looked incredibly scattered. I mean, this is a team that I already thought of as a mechanically skilled team that had trouble putting it all together. They have, unfortunately, with this new roster, seem to have gone backwards a couple of steps. They are sort of a little bit all over the place. They're definitely not quite as together. DC are able to catch players out a lot. And, I think, props to DC for being able to capitalize on those mistakes. But, man, it has not been working well for them right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. But they're going to try to make a change to try to help here. Penguin will be subbed in for Content Credence.
Going onto the main tank role for Bard, usually a role that is doing a lot of calling. So maybe Penguin's calls are going to be what this team needs to pull themselves back together.
Yeah, possibly what they need. But the thing is, I think as an individual, Bard is most likely the more skilled player. But maybe Penguin provides something to the team that Bard doesn't.
Well, yeah, Penguin provides the YouTube videos.
Oh, true. The YouTube videos makes them mid-game. While he's playing, he uses one hand to play, he uses his other hand to make the videos. Fun fact for everybody at home.
Mm-hmm.
As we are awaiting the map picks and from Content Credence. As
sure. I'm trying to figure out what Mickey's saying in chat right now. She's been 20 now. I need a map pick from you. So yeah, we are waiting on the assault map pick from Content Credence. Potentially a very interesting sort of map type. I'm not the favorite of most for good reason, but what I am interested in is that Double Cap are most likely going to pick defense here. If Content and Assault tends to be a very snowbally sort of map, if Content Credence can attack first, pick off a player or two, take first point, snowball it into the second, this would be potentially the mental resetter that Content Credence desperately needs right now.
Yeah.
And Volskaya will be the map pick coming in for Content.
Yeah, so Volskaya Industries is where Content Credence will be taking us. You'll be taking us to Russia for our 2CP.
Oh, and this is interesting now. It's sub being made on the side of Double Cap. Cat is back. Very much the Zarya play of Cat was a big reason why they were able to come off at such a hot streak, and they kind of left. I don't really know what happened to Cat, but back in the lobby right now, and coming in for Navino.
Yeah, Navino being subbed out. Maybe this is just to give Kate a bit of playtime. I'm not too sure if this is really a strategic sub, also, or if it's more of a playtime sub.
Yeah. Also on the other side, we're going to be having Fengus coming in for TIE Fighter, the longtime starter of the team, probably just being put in as sort of a potential last resort here for content. Like, we really need to get some stability here. Hopefully, Fengus can provide that. A new tank line coming in for content Credence.
Yeah.
As we now enter Volskaya.
Volskaya Industries, our third and possibly final map of the series. Content Credence looking to keep their hopes alive of getting a win here. Getting this win for, like I said earlier, Content Credence is massive for their season as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, it's not looking too good. Going down 2-0 early.
I would say first order of business from Content Credence right now, take point A. Get a point in the series, and then we can start thinking about potentially snowballing that into another point and finishing it up. Right now, I can't say if they're going to stick on it. The Content Credence showing a very divey comp going into Volskaya, which could be very interesting if it weren't for the fact that we are seeing the Rhine Zarya coming out from Double Capped, and this is sort of the bread and butter comp that they were known for in the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah. This is going to be what both teams will be rolling out on. This very divey comp, like you said, from Content Credence.
Steady State on the Tracer, that is new.
Yeah. Steady State opting to run this Tracer here. As Penguin and Fengus are just going to kind of take control of this high ground pair, but Fluffy's just left alone on his lone sub here. He's just going to fall very early, all alone there in the Mega Room. Monarch will fall to accelerate, however, but everybody else is falling. Losing your main source of heals early is not a good way to start.
That was incredible from Double Cap to just identify, wait a second, Mickey is in the back line by himself. What if we just speed on him? And they did, and there's nothing you can do as an Ana when you have a speed boosted Reinhardt charging you down. But that also is terrifying.
Also a bit of poor play from Content Credence to not really realize what was happening. They could have just bolted for Double Cap's backline. No main tank no main tank or Lucio, so kind of hard to get away from this divey comp there. That's a nice bolus bump. Steady State's gonna stick on Kate, take him down. Good opening pick there. Monarch's gonna fall as well to accelerate, and it looks like they're gonna do it. It looks like they're gonna manage to cap first point here on Volskaya Industries. Steady State does fall, but it's not going to matter, really.
Yeah, they're still up 3. There's so few players from Double Cap on the point. This defense advantage is so good that I just feel like there's just no way that Double Cap manages to come back from this one, right? The Lucio and the Sombra are still hanging around, but Kenobi's going to try and contest here. He will get focused down, and that should be it for sure. Cat's like, you know what, actually, maybe not. Still kind of hanging out in no man's land. Cat might actually get staggered out. This is actually big now, as the snowball potential here for Content is huge. They're going to have 6 ults, and they're going to push right in, and this is so aggressive for Penguin.
Repeat got fast spawns, however, but they're already so far in. The Shatter's nice, however, as Poof is going to fall. The Shatter from the Duplicate's even better, however, the pin from the Duplicate and Reinhardt's going to take down Kenobi, as the EMP is good as well. Penguin's going to fall down, and a nice attempt there from Content Credence, but they're not able to really end up capitalizing. Using 3 ults there wasn't enough in the end, as Double Cap will hold on here.
Double Cap do manage to hold on. I feel like Penguin just said, W, go! And everyone's just like, okay. And they jumped in and got a little bit done, but still a little unorganized there from Content Credence, and they just weren't quite able to finish it off, especially when the returning ults came out from Double Cap.
And Content Credence got the kill so fast, the 2 opening picks they got had 3-second spawns still. Like, they killed them a bit too fast. As you're gonna see, the dive come through. That's a nice grab from Kate. The EMP on top of it's not gonna result in any kills, as Kate's gonna fall down to start off the fight. Penguin's gonna get taken down by Kenobi, however. Steady State's falling low on the point here. Getting some decent work does. Post bomb doesn't result in any kills. The Resurrect's gonna come through onto Penguin, as Fengus is gonna get demexed, as the Coalescence from Monarch's doing some good damage there. As Repeat manages to take down Penguin. The Shatter's nice as well. It's gonna hit up a couple players. knock accelerate out of the duplicate, and Constant Credence once again gonna get a very nice fight win and hold here on second point.
Yeah, I mean, this is honestly just the great thing about double cap in that defense. They bended, but they did not break. When Penguin jumped in on the Winston, they had the grab ready for him. And then as the fight unfolded, they were absolutely ready for everything that Content Credence had to throw at them. Now, lots of changes coming through for Content Credence. They're going with a much more bunched up together brawl comp with Penguin on the run. And also probably trying to counter Tyler, who just completely wrecked them in that last fight. That was a nice shatter from him.
Yeah, for sure. The bomb's gonna get thrown in. It's not gonna result in any kills. There's the beat from Kenobi that's there to help keep everybody up. From now, as Repeat drops the Blossom on top of everybody. 3 kills off the back of it. Managed to get another kill there onto Penguin with the 4K from Repeat. What a play.
Tyler with a celebratory dive into the Volskaya Oceans. I honestly was Fengus demeched before the Death Blossom went out, because I was surprised that got so much value considering you had the Rhine Shield and the Diva Matrix, but if he did hold on to that until Fengus was demexed, that was actually a great play. Now they're going back up on the high ground again, trying to get some picks, but here comes the grab from Cat.
Yeah, the grab is going to hit both tanks there. His Fengus is going to get hacked up. The counter crack comes through onto Reefy. No kills yet for either side, however, as Content Credence just kind of biding their time now. So they're going to commit to the fight, but the EMP is great. And the Shatter on top of it, the EMP Shatter, a combo as old as time, and that's going to be another phenomenal hold there from Double Cap.
The 6-man EMP from Matson. Nobody is safe. Fengus now swaps onto the Zarya, and now we have a complete mirror composition, which I don't know if that's what you want if you're Content Credence. You've been completely outplayed on these mirror comps so far in the match, but they seem confident in it. Senise's gonna have the EMP going into this fight. Kenobi's not even close to the beat. This is doable. That's a 4-man EMP, and here comes the picks for Content.
Yeah, the EMP is phenomenal with the coalescence behind it, pumping it some damage, keeping everybody on their team up as they have a 2-player advantage here. So they're gonna get the first tick, gonna get the second tick. And grab is good from Kate. It's gonna hit all 6 players now, but nobody touches.
Yeah, I mean, all you really did was lock them all on the point so that they could get point progress faster. Honestly, for all of the garbage that I talked on on Content Credence up to this point, that was a nice fight. That was probably the cleanest fight that I've seen from Content this whole match. They were ready for Steady State's EMP, and they followed up on it beautifully.
Yeah, they really followed up on everything there in that fight phenomenally there. As I think, is it wrong to call that a bit of a Charlie Niner from Double Cap?
Yeah, I would say it's a bit of a Charlie Niner. They were down 2, but there were definitely players who were potentially able to touch there. But now both points capped for Double Cap, so it is now for Content. So it is now Double Cap's turn to respond for basically the first time this series. Content Credence has thrown a couple punches their way. They're going to be going back onto, of course, their bread and butter comp. Nothing new there. And Content's going to be swapping back onto their dive comp with the Echo Tracer, which is going to be very interesting. I hope to see them play around the high grounds because this comp did not work out super well for them on their attack.
Yeah. The comp here, basically same comps from both sides as they ran for practically the entire time. Penguin back over onto the Winston.
Mm-hmm.
As they're just going to try to wrap around onto this high ground there. And they're just going to try to most likely just dive onto the point and force a response from Content. They're just going to kind of sit in this room from now, but they're very susceptible to a bit of poke damage.
Yeah, the tank's kind of sitting on the point right now.
Steady State in the back. That's a nice anti-nade. It's going to hit up 4 people. It's going to tell them that they should go dive in, and they're going to push all the tanks off the high ground there. But the players from Content Credence are the ones falling low, as Fengus is going to get demected Steady State is gonna fall there. So practically a two-player advantage. Marnock does get traded out, however. Penguin falls though. Now looks like Double Cap gonna manage to cap the first point there off of honestly a bit of sloppy play. From Content Credence. Double Cap played it very slow and ended up paying off in the end.
Yeah, I could kind of see what Contact was trying to do there with kiting around the high grounds, but it honestly sort of fell apart when Penguin finally made the decision to dive in on them. The focus fire on the tanks was just too good, and there was nothing that the supports could really do. And now a bunch of swaps coming out from Content Credence, which is not good considering we're going to be having multiple ults coming out from Double Cap in this fight.
Yes, Coalescence is going to get popped from Monarch here. He's just going to try to push everybody back. And Kate's going to fall, but the shatter from Tyler's going to hit everybody. And then a repeat with the Blossom on top. It looks like Double Cap, I'm going to make a really funny joke, is about to Double Cap.
I'll give you a clap for that. I'll give you a clap for that. I'm sure you were the first person to ever say that joke, but no! Penguin!
The Caster Curse baby, real! The beat is there to try to keep everybody up, but Tyler has already fallen. Penguin returning to the fight here on this Reinhardt, barely managing to get the touch, but the EMP straight is going to hit 6 players, and the grab is good as well. Steady State's going to fall before he manages to use the EMP of the zone, as the bomb's going to get thrown on top of the point. It's going to manage to take down Madsen, and it looks like Content Credence may actually be able to turn this. They're going to manage to get the kill onto Kenobi and force everybody back.
98.7%. The Caster Curse coming out from Joe. Isn't that beautiful? And what's beautiful was that re-engage from Content Credence. I thought that they were just done, but turns out no, they were really biding their time, and they gave up two ticks willingly in order to put themselves in a fantastic position for these next fights. Here's the EMP from Steady State.
Yeah, the EMP from Steady State is phenomenal there. They're going to manage to get 2 kills very quickly and just force Double Cap back. This really looks like a different Content Credence there. The shatter from Penguin. I can just imagine Penguin in the comms just yelling like, probably yelling something about how he just hit a 6-man.
Yeah, I mean, what I wanted to say about this game is going really quick is that also a bit of a mistake from Double Cap. They really over-invested in that fight once Content Credence sort of re-engaged and got a couple of picks. You really should have just started getting out by then, but there was at least 1 or 2 that the EMP grab was used after like 2 players were gone already, and now that has put Double Cap in a bit of an ult deficit for the next couple of matches.
That's the EMP from, not the EMP, the Blossom from Accelerate's just gonna get 2 opening picks there for Content Credence. They're gonna commit the grab on top of it, however. Repeat's gonna manage to get 2 kills there. The Blossom from is decent as well, as they're gonna manage to get the last 2 remaining players, and with 2 ticks already gone and a random right click hitting Steady State, Double Cap finally managed to cap with a.
They finally, but they still had like over 3 minutes.
I think they had like exactly 3 minutes left, but a bit over 2 minutes left. 2 minutes advantage, excuse me, for Double Cap here coming into the second round of attacks. I said Content Credence should be proud if they managed to make it to 2 attacking rounds. Yeah. They did it. Good job.
They made it. I would say, honestly, you can kind of see there is a bit of a difference when Penguin and Pegasus are in. Maybe mechanically this is not the best tank lineup, but these team is looking a lot more together. They are playing a lot more coordinated than they were with Bard and TIE Fighter in. A lot better play that I've seen out of them this map, and in contrast, maybe they weren't really expecting Cat DC was, because they are making a few more mistakes than they did in the first couple of maps.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I am 99% sure if Double Cap lose this map, they take out Kate, but.
Well, yeah, they probably put Navino back in. Speaking of that, the Sigma Hog Pumps coming back out for DC. Let's see how Content Credence tried to deal with this, because this absolutely destroyed them on Rialto.
Yeah, this comp absolutely demolished them. The nerfed Widowmaker is coming out from Madsen, however. Maybe trying to look to get a couple picks here. very pick-heavy comp from Double Cap. See,
Yeah.
he already moved on to the point, and the shot for Matson connects. He hits a follow-up headshot as well, but Repeat will fall there. So it's a nice equalizer, but Penguin is going to end up falling to Cat on the point there. There's so many body shots actually coming through for Matson. He's going to manage to get a kill onto Fluffius. He's going to get another kill as well. Matson with the triple kill in that fight there. There's only 12 seconds left now for Content Credence to get a touch here on the point. And I don't even know if they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, is there going to be a touch available? Steady State will be there for the touch.
Yeah, so Steady State will be able to touch. As he just falls for Matson. Penguin's going to follow up point to Tyler as well. And they're looking like a group of lost schoolboys. As that's going to most likely be it there for Content Credence's second attack there. As they're just going to be full held. And now Double Cap have their win condition for the map, for the series.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Content Credence was out-comped there. They had a little bit of a better idea of what they wanted to do that map than Rialto. I will say that. They were able to push up and sort of huddle into that little middle center point with the health pack. But, you know, the goal is to kind of force Double Cap to respond and touch on the point, and then you can just destroy them because, you know, it's 6v1. But Double Cap was extremely patient. They whittled down Penguin's shield, and, you know, Monarch and Matson on the high ground were just completely putting in the spam damage. And now we're going to be seeing what looks like pretty much a mirror mashup, except for the Diva from Fengus and the Zarya from Cat.
Yeah.
3 minutes and 13 seconds.
Cool.
That is what Double Cap has to end this series right now. One map win, 33.3% point capture, and that is going to do it for them.
Yeah. They have over 3 minutes here just to get one tick on Volskaya. This is not looking good for if you're a Content Credence fan. As you see, we're gonna see mirror comps. I think it's the first time in the series we've seen a true mirror. As you see,
the off tanks are different.
The off tanks are different. You're right. Cat is on the Zarya, Fengus on the Diva here. As they're just
managed to slip past Double Cap without taking any hits. Look at this! It's just a freaking game of tag right now. They're chasing him to the point.
Yeah, Double Cap just gonna get to the point first, but the game of tag is gonna go the way of Content Credence early here. Mickey already has a coalescence. Not even 45 seconds into this attack, he has already built it up. Now, as Matson's gonna fall, that's a good two-player advantage there for Content Credence. Nice decision for them to wrap around.
Yeah, there was a hack that came through on Tyler pretty early into that fight, and that sort of seemed to scramble Double Cap up a little bit. They rushed to the point, and Content Credence followed them, and they were just completely unable to recover. But now Double Cap will be coming in once again. The ult from Cat on the side creative.
The shatter is nice. Penguin's gonna put a couple players down, but the counter shatter from Tyler's good as Penguin's fallen, so there's no shield there to keep the shatter from connecting with his teammates. As Tyler's gonna find 2 kills there. The EMP's gonna come out, but nobody's alive. And Double Cap looked rough on this map, but they're gonna take the series 3-0.
Yeah, a little rougher from DC on this map, but they were still quite clearly the superior team here today, even with the swaps that came through from both teams. But I will say, you know, with the 2 rushing losses that Content Credence took on the first 2 maps, I will say good on them, honestly, for pushing themselves and making Volskaya a bit more of a contest. But, I mean, massive shatter from Tyler. That was nuts.
Yeah. Tyler really played phenomenally there. That game. As Double Cap, that was a statement.
That was very much a statement. People have been putting down Double Cap for a couple of weeks now. That was Double Cap saying, we are here and we are in contention for a title. Don't you forget about us, Mob Mentality or Guangzhou or MI6. Those are the three teams above them in the standings right now.
Yeah, that was one of the most dominant performances throughout this entire season. And the only little like kind of uh, rough moment there for Double Cap was on Volskaya when they didn't have who looked like their new starting off tank Navino, and they decided to run Cat instead, and they still managed to win the map pretty dominantly. And so, yeah, I think this is I'm gonna say it, we're seeing the new Double Cap.
Very potentially. I mean, this is definitely. I mean, snapping the losing streak is definitely huge for Double Cap moving forward. This is going to be a big morale boost for sure. But I mean, who better to talk about that than the member of Double Cap themselves? So, who are you interested in interviewing today, Joe?
Who am I interested in interviewing? I'll let you choose. You make the decision.
Okay, awesome.
You make the decision. I suck at making decisions.
Fine. I want to. Well, he's out of the lobby, but I want to talk to Navino as sort of the new starting member of the roster here.
Yeah. That's if Navino's available. Slide him in here.
We'll see. He left the lobby. We'll see if he's available. If not, we'll pick up from someone who is in the lobby. But yeah, I mean, I think this was a fantastic game here from Double Cap. They made this about as one-sided as they possibly could have.
Yeah, this was very good performance there from Double Cap. Putting content Credence away there in 3 maps.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm very excited to see what this roster does for the rest of the season.
Okay, we've gotten a shirt from Fimi, so let's bring Navino up to casting booth number 2. Hi, Navino.
What up?
Hey, man. Yeah, first of all, congratulations. Your first game as a player in League 0, and you've come away with a 3-0 victory. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty good. We played better than we did in scrims, if I'm going to be honest. But I feel pretty good. We executed well, and we really bounced back from when I joined the team last week or 2 weeks ago. Like, I joined right before we played MM, and it was good. Like, we really bounced back.
Yeah, I wanted to ask because, you did join the team at a point where they had lost 2 games in a row, and a lot of people were sort of disregarding them as being more of a mid-tier team than as a top tier that they were thought of in the first couple of weeks of the season. So, like, as you joined the team, what kinds of things has Double Cap been working on to try and improve going into this game and the rest of the season?
I think a big thing is like, when I joined, like, a lot of people, some of my friends, like, questioned my choice to join DC because, like, people did view them as a mid-table team, especially after they lost to MM, right? But the reason I joined is because, like, Femi, Tyler, Madsen, like, they made a conscious, intentional choice to reassess how we do things, right? To, like, no one spot was safe. Like, I think, like, today, like, we had new starters. Like, I started the first 2 maps, right? As someone that just came into the team. Like, we didn't want to sit down and just say, oh yeah, we're bad without Kate. We wanted to, and so we worked on as a group as a whole. And it's really nice to see how we've come, because because Joey was in Overwatch for the playoffs, I wasn't even able to make half the scrims the last 2 weeks. So it's been really, really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to ask you, going into content Credence, did you make any special preparations for this team?
I don't think so. Like, we knew when Kishot was out, like, they weren't going to be able to, like, I think, contest Madsen, at least in my opinion. Like, especially in a more DPS heavy comp. right? And personally, for me and me and Tyler talked about it a lot. Like, we kind of expected them to one trick brawl, and so like when they went Rialto, we're like, oh yes, let us, because we've been practicing this comp in a lot of scrims, because we're good at it. We like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, we've been practicing a lot, and it's a really anti-brawl comp, as you guys saw.
Yeah. How do you think it feels to be Bard right now? He was not allowed to play on Rialto.
Yeah, bro. Like as someone that has played, like literally, Joey had a playoff match, which is a team with like me, Rye Guy, Trudong, and a bunch of other League Zero people. We played a team that was really good at like that Mercy Zen comp, and it's infuriating to play because if you play slow at all, or like go a path that doesn't let you avoid poke as much, you just get screwed. Like you just get rolled,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so frustrating. And like, so I feel his pain. I do. You have to have a really competent diva and a really competent Moira and like the support line to keep your main tank up at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. One more question from me, and then I'll go to Joe because I've been asking a lot of questions. This was a very, I would say, a pretty one-sided match in favor of Double Cap. I want you to think back and give Double Cap maybe something to build. I'm sorry, give content maybe a little something to build off of going into the future. What do you think was content's biggest thorn in your side today? Who do you think? What do you think they were best at?
I think Accelerates Echo's pretty good. I do think like in the Brawl Mirror they were solid, right? Like I think if I was them, to me it looked like they had an identity crisis because like on Nepal when they ran like the Mercy Echo with Winston Diva and then just kind of ran straight into the Sombra, it's like I feel like you're trying to play like a mix between a pick comp and a brawl comp, so just pick one. You know, like you have the pieces to pull one off. You just have to commit, right? And even like, and then when they full committed to brawl, like I guess also is just identify win conditions, and I think you'll be fine. Because like mechanically, I think the team's there. I just think decision making is what held them back today.
All right, Joe, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. So after this statement win, next week you're gonna be heading into a game against MIS6. How do you?
I'm not worried.
You're not worried?
No.
All right. Well, that answers my question.
Sorry, I like Jeff. You know I'm coming for you, bro. Or Hamtaro, whatever you want to call him. He knows I'm coming for him. But shout out to my boys tonight. Tyler for hitting massive shatters in Bull Sky. Then Kenobi. He said he wanted a shout out because he got 5K in scrims. And 2 of the kills from that 5K are for my flux. Whatever. Overall, it was a good team win today.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in for the interview, Navino. Once again, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your night.
You too, guys.
And that is going to conclude the stream today. Double Cap getting a dominant 3-0 victory over Content Credence, establishing themselves back as a contender in the intermediate division of League Zero. I am super excited to see how this division shapes up in the final weeks of the regular season.
Yeah, I think this is possibly the most exciting division to watch in League Zero this season. So many good teams, such a competitive division all around.
Yeah. Any last things you want to say before I sign us off here, Joe?
Tune into the rest of the games this weekend.
Yeah,
we have more games on this channel, some games on some of the other channels. Join the Discord if you're not. Know where all the games will be streamed. And I think that's going to be it from us.
Yeah, that is going to be it for us. Thank you all so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the stream and have a great rest of your night.